This is the Big 12 Conference on ESPN, and man, have we had a wild afternoon and evening in Salt Lake City. It was actually a beautiful day, and then a couple hours before game time, a huge, violent storm came through the Salt Lake City area. We had downpours, we had lightning strikes, fans cleared out of the stadium, players not allowed to warm up until really just a few minutes ago, and finally some students are inside for a very important conference game in the Big 12. The Sun Devils of Arizona State have come on the road to take on the Utes of Utah.
Can Devin Dampier find a completion for a first down?
A little play fake, and he throws it. He's got an open receiver caught for a first down. ASU, I thought they jumped, and here come the penalty flags. So they're going to take the free play and just heave it up. But I'm 99% sure that's offsides on the Sun Devils.
I expect to see quarterback run here. Devin Dampier needs to keep the football in his hands.
He does, and he will walk in. Touchdown. One of those for granted tonight.
Well, that's a picture-perfect start for the Utah Utes. Moiai and Bentley open up a gaping hole for Devin Dampier. The biggest key is he hasn't played meaningful snaps in an entire year. Offensive coordinator Marcus Arroyo needs to get him comfortable early.
A play fake, so he's going to throw it on his first play. Down the right sideline, good coverage, and the ball was knocked away. Trying to hit Jalen Moss, who is playing for the first time since week 1. Now, this is 4th and 7 for Arizona State on their first drive of the game. Pressure comes, a little screen thrown, and the pass caught. Fight to try to get that extra yard, and I think a little bit of a high snap, and that kick is on the way, and good.
And they said you were finally, for the first time, seeing a fully healthy Dampier.
They fake it to Bray and throw across the middle. That was not a good decision. And Jeff Sims, their backup quarterback, having to play. Hands it off, and man, he almost handed it off to the Utes.
Well, this is just a zone read scheme here with the guard pulling by ASU. But Sims, he's left in no man's land. If he pulls the football, the scheme by Morgan Scally, you can see 16.
Game before us, if you're carried over from A&M in Florida. Nice win for the Aggies on a run play for Utah.
And he's going to test this front seven for ASU.
There's no running back in the backfield. Bray motions. Dampier keeps it, and he'll get the first down and more inside the 35. And Dampier, a guy that whole coaching staff very familiar with. He'll keep it on second down and short. Dampier to the end zone. Touchdown. So the Utah Utes, their second touchdown drive of the night.
Yeah, and it's all been on Dampier's legs, making multiple guys miss. And right now, this Utah offense is fully in control. Shoulder pads fit, Matt? I mean, come on now. Let's get those fitted up.
We love Matt.
I love it.
Proud Saguaro High. Great tradition of football there. Both teams mostly using the ground game. A nice catch by the All-American wideout Jordan Tyson. Jesus Gomez for his second field goal try from 29 yards, and it's blocked. Well, nothing about that looks smooth, and Utah blocks the field goal try after all that.
Aaron's snap leads to a blocked field goal. Utah Utes bending but will not break. Devin Dampier with the football.
He threw in front of just about every team he felt like in the country, and nobody really wanted him, so he has a lot to prove, guys.
And looking very spry again. Out into the open, cuts it back middle. Made another man miss and got into Arizona State territory. He's doing it all tonight.
I'm going to let that play clock run down and really try to melt some clock here. ASU gets the football to start the third quarter. I don't want to give them an opportunity for points here.
Left side run, big hole, the cutback, and touchdown! Nakari Rogers from 22 yards out.
To spring him free for the touchdown. Excellent block by Davis down the field right there on Rouser, number 4. You see that. Just being able to sustain the block. That is big league stuff by the wide receiver transfer from New Mexico.
So the first drive of the second half for Utah. Dampier gonna scramble around in the pocket, buy some time, wide open downfield, and he finds Ryan Davis, who tried to cut it to the sideline. He gets tripped up inside the 15-yard line. You got about as many big guys out there as you can. Dampier, a late pitch, wide open, and a walk into the end zone for Nakari Rogers. Touchdown, Utah. And then the play that Brock was talking about. Which hand? Yeah, shove it with the left hand. Why not? Rogers.
These penalties just continue to kill the Sun Devils tonight.
Yeah, they've had some big ones. Pressure coming. Sims on 3rd and long, trying to get away. Sims will scramble and did not go out of bounds. Jeff Sims. Well, there's the athleticism. You think back all those years ago. Brown to his left on 3rd down from inside the 15. Here comes the pressure. He does get rid of it quickly. That's Tyson, who gets tackled short by about a yard. So he had that answer, but
it was a really good call by the officials because it was clear that Utah was trying to draw ASU offsides.
It worked until it didn't. Now on a little end around give into the end zone. Tyson, touchdown. Well, Arizona State gets their first touchdown of the night.
This is what I was saying. Arizona State continues to try to hit the football inside. Prince Dorba, who's at the top of your screen 2 weeks ago, had 3 sacks against TCU.
They blocked him beautifully here. Gave Dampier time to find his tight end. Bentley with the catch. That's a first down, Utah into Arizona State territory. Things change in the mountains. Wild storm we had before the game. Dampier out into the open. Devin Dampier, another big run for Utah. He is just gashed. But they're not in the wrong on those kind of plays. Dampier keeps it, cuts back middle. Dampier, touchdown. They never got him to the ground.
Option. There's so much going on. Here's Daniel Braid, the speedster that's been killing ASU on these speed sweeps. He's not going to get the football. Then you get the speed option out here as well. So there's really a 3-pronged play. You can give it to Bray, you can flip it out to Parker, or as Dampier, you can keep it yourself, which is what he elects to do. There's just so much to defend if you're ASU's defense. If your eyes get put in the wrong spot for just a half a second, it creates hesitation. You're behind the play. Coach says you can improve your mobility. So he started doing yoga, other things like that. Now he bends better and he gets around that corner.
Yeah, and he and the Utah defense surround the quarterback. Officially just their 2nd sack, but they pressured Sims, and ASU, one of the sack leaders in the country, not a one. Sims goes down again. Back-to-back plays with a sack. Now it's 3rd and 31. They're back at their own 35, and the pressure's coming again. And Sims ran into his own guy and goes down for a 3rd straight play.
Get into it right now. Right here's John Henry Daly just winning with speed and power on the edge. That's Clem at left tackle. And it doesn't matter. Nobody has had an answer for these defensive ends for Utah tonight.
That was just a blow-by by John Henry Daly. All that yoga paid off. A little line drive punt and returnable. And a nice return with broken tackles still going. Carvalho with a really nice punt return. Looked like the dominant team, and then the one in the far bottom right corner as Devin Dampier on the Utah offense back at it. There is a penalty flag down.
You know he was playing with a little extra chip on his shoulder tonight.
There's the freshman quarterback Ficklin, who takes it in for another Utah touchdown. A lot of extra point practice for Dylan Curtis. A lot of cannon shots in the stadium. A lot of this for Utah tonight, just running roughshod. Running back or a wildcat situation going. Sims dumps it down. That's Robinson again with a lot of room. He'll cut it to the right side and get inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal, Arizona State.
Utah showing pressure. You have one-on-one matchups across the board.
Sims gets rid of it, incomplete on 4th and goal. And all that, a long drive, almost 7 minutes and 17 plays. And no points for the Sun Devils. Been that kind of night. Backup quarterback in. The lefty's going to sling it, and a nice delivery along the left sideline. Man, that was pretty sweet. Bird Ficklin. And just a little quick game summary. Devin Dampier was excellent in both ways, throwing the ball, especially running the ball. 3 rushing touchdowns, 6 rushing touchdowns total for Utah. I mean, it's amazing that the time of possession, Arizona State dominated. We had that graphic. How many drives? 4 different drives of 6+ minutes for the Sun Devils, and they have 10 points on the board as the game has expired.
Big wins over Illinois, and that's going to be a fun story to watch unfold. But here tonight, Utah, 278 yards rushing, over 7 yards per carry. I don't care how long Arizona State possessed the football. If you can't stop a run like that, in the game that Devin Dampier had, what a win for the Utes.
And a very big game is looming now next week. ASU's got to regroup because they got the Red Raiders coming to Tempe. Utah drives down the road to Provo to take on undefeated BYU in a real big rivalry game.
I tell you what, I love the teeth of conference play. 2 massive games for these teams next week. We're really going to find out who's going to rise to the top.
You want this, you got that.